like to draw your attention, and I would like to hear from all of you about the history of Bangladesh and how Bangabandhu, our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, led Bangladesh in the path of freedom, and also his contribution in our independence, and also his contribution in the regional politics and in the world, particularly his support to OIC, his support to the Palestinian cause. With these words, I would like to invite now Professor Mohammad MS Alhadab Al-Sirhan. He has finished his postdoc on accountancy from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign in USA. And also he has finished his PhD in accounting and finance in 2013 from the University of Leeds in UK. He also did his MSc in international and social public policy from the London School of Economics and Political Science of UK. He also has been studying in some of the very key, important and renowned educational institution in Jordan, like the Arab Academy for Banking and Financial Science. And also he did his bachelor's from the Al Bayt University. He has been working since quite some time in the teaching profession, starting with the London School of Economics, where he taught as a adjunct lecturer, and also the associate professor in Al Bayt University. And he has in his life got a number of very important awards, including the Chevening Award, and also has been a member of the European Accounting Association. Actually, if I want to go through all his CV, it itself would take about half an hour. So I will not spend time on that, but he's one of the very renowned academician in Jordan, and we are very happy to have you, Professor Mohammad Alhadab Al-Sirhan. And I have the pleasure now to invite you to listen to you and have your comments on our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and on our National Mourning Day. Professor Mohammed, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. Good afternoon for you and for your distinguished speakers. It's my great pleasure today to be with you to give some light on this day of the history, the National Mourning Day of Bangladesh, to remember the death of Sheikh Mujib Rahman, one of the greatest leaders in the world who has made big effort. Made a big effort to change the community and transform the life of people in Bangladesh and around the world. Given my background in economic and finance, I will speak first about Sheikh Mujib Rahman, then I will try to shed some light on the economic success story of Bangladesh. Today, Bangladesh is one of the fast-growing economy in the world over the past decade, and this big success has come with no cost. The sacrifice Sheikh Mujib Rahman has made by his life and the life of his families. Today, the Bangladesh people feel the outcome of the sacrifice. If we remember in the history, we remember, as you mentioned, Your Excellency, Abraham Lincoln in US. We remember Martin Luther King in US. We remember Nelson Mandela in Africa. We remember Sheikh Mujib Rahman in Bangladesh. This man, like, he sacrificed his life to make this change for the community and the life of people. The father of the nation, Sheikh Mujib Rahman, was assassinated with his family member 47 years ago. but this day, we should remember today to be more strong and men and women to work together. This should be day to remember, not as mentioned by Dr. Hani. Maybe it's a black day in history, but I think it's a day that we remember the people who sacrificed their life to make our life better. So we should, as men and women, work together, help each other to transform our community. I remember Sheikh Mujib Rahman word. He believed in justice, truth, and fundamental rights of the common people through his life. In 1948, when he was student of Dhaka University, he said, I'm now quoting his word, "We shall continue our movement till Bangala is made the principal state language of Pakistan. Whatever the eventually, we are ready for that." This is the young student leader, Sheikh Mujib Rahman, was taken for jail for this word for the first time on 11th March 1948. Since that, I think he had spent over 12 years inside the prison. But whether he was in jail or outside, he was all in favor of freedom and welfare of Bengali. So what is the message for today that we need to convey for the people and the world? That we remember this day in history. We remember the sacrifice of Sheikh Mujib Rahman to be strong and to see how people sacrifice their life to change the people and community. If I want to shed some light on the success story of Bangladesh. Bangladesh today, as I mentioned before, it is one of the fastest growing economy in the world over the past decade. It has strong ready-made garment export, remittance, and stable macroeconomic condition. All this has led to a big change in the people's life. Today, Bangladesh, through its good network with its neighboring country, Pakistan, India, and the world, and a strong relationship, it has a very big success story in terms of economics. Bangladesh, as I said, has been rated as one of the most stable rate of GDP growth among developing country, and is recognized as one of the top 14 economy of the world. What a pleasure! What a pleasure that Bangladesh people should feel proud. This has come with no cost, as I mentioned, the sacrifice of Sheikh Mujib Rahman and the current leadership of his daughter, Sheikh Hasina, has led to all this success. If we remember, the per capita income was almost like $90 a long time ago, but now, after 50 years later, the per capita income has crossed the $2,000 mark, with a GDP about 355 billion. This has contributed significantly to the people, to the life of the people. For example, the poverty rate has been reduced to 14% over the last years. It was before around 43%. Imagine like how people's life has been changed. The poverty is one of the most common problems that the world face, and the United Nations and the World Bank has big budget to reduce poverty around the world. Without the sacrifice of Sheikh Mujib Rahman, the principle of freedom that he sacrificed his life to make for Bengali people, we wouldn't see Bangladesh as such a story. We will see Bangladesh today as country with a loss of default, with a loss of loans and problem, and this will cause the world more money to help Bangladesh. But the sacrifice has been made over the last 50 years by Sheikh Mujib Rahman and the people of Bangladesh. Bangladesh today is one of the very success story. I never remember that I attend an economic forum or a conference. Bangladesh name wasn't mentioned there. Like always, Bangladesh will become there. You should, people of Bangladesh, you feel very proud that your Bangladesh name now everywhere in the economic world, international, they always recognize as one of the very success story that all the developing world should follow and adapt to overcome their obstacles and economic problems. Even though Bangladesh has contributed significantly to the Asia as well, and the country around it, and Her Excellency mentioned that the support in the early year from Sheikh Mujib Rahman to the Palestine and their conflict and the problem of that we face all over the world. What has been happening in Palestine, we still today pay the cost and over the world. So Sheikh Mujib Rahman, from his early year, he knows that at that time, he knows that the importance of the peace in the world, importance of the right of the people to live in peace and in freedom of the speech, to have your own right, because this will reflect in your economic performance, in your work, and the other right. Even like in the private sector in Bangladesh today, we see like a big success story. This is also due to the regulation and the improvement that Bangladesh has been witnesses over the last 50 years. I would like also to mention the very important role for the government of Bangladesh under Her Excellency Sheikh Hasina. This is the success wouldn't be happened without the government support. The government of Bangladesh has been working continuously as facilitator of the economy, not as a regulator. Regulator is just one who watch and provide the regulation, but facilitators who want to make sure this regulation will allow people to work, will allow the private sector. I'm sorry.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So I was saying that the important role of the Bangladesh government as a facilitator for the economy. Bangladesh today is the second largest exporter of the ready-made garment in the world. Imagine a developing and poor country in the early 50s now becoming the second largest exporter of the ready-made garment in the world. This is like a very big important things. A part of the from the garment export, Bangladesh is also is one of the very important country that has significant source of remittance from their migrant workforce and outside. Bangladesh provide migrant workforce for all the world. So this is also another significant source of the economic growth for Bangladesh. The remittance make more than 20 billion annually, and this is like people of Bangladesh should feel very proud. Their skills, their dedication to their country and to their family. They go work around all the world, and they send money back to their family and their home country to contribute to the significant growth of the economy. So this is without loyalty from the people to their country, this will not come. Many people who choose to immigrate for outside, they choose to stay outside. But Bangladesh people remember the sacrifice has been made over all the years by the great leader Sheikh Mujib Rahman and other people, and they continue to contribute to their home country. I would like to mention for the degree of the macroeconomic stability that Bangladesh is witnessing today is this is one of the best things that investors look forward. And if you look for the foreign direct investment in Bangladesh today, we see this is due to the fact to the macroeconomic stability and the regulation stability in Bangladesh. Even though it's one of the developing country, but it's one in terms of regulations and macroeconomic stability is one it's overcome many aspects of the developed world from my point of view. I would like also to mention for the non-profit organization in Bangladesh, NGOs, the non-profit organization in Bangladesh plays a very important role that contributes to the economic success. The NGOs have played a very important role in reducing economic poverty among the people. No war, no country in the world, even the developed, the very developed country like US and Europe, without the help of NGOs, you cannot overcome the most common problem of poverty. Bangladesh government and people has made this happen by the cooperation with the NGOs in their country. Around 30%, 34% of the foreign aid received in the world is channeled to Bangladesh NGOs. Imagine that 34% from the total aid in the world is channeled to Bangladesh because they facilitated, as I mentioned before, the government work as a facilitator to ensure this can happen. I would like also to mention the very important role that Grameen Bank has played to reduce the poor and the poverty in Bangladesh. All these success story, without the sacrifice of Sheikh Mujib Rahman, this will not happen. So I think today is not just day to remember the black day in the history where Sheikh Mujib Rahman and his family were assassinated, but to remember to be very strong as men and women to learn the lesson from Bangladesh all over the world, that we need to transfer our community, and this will not happen without the cooperation between each other, between the peace, the principle of freedom and right. I also would like to mention the literacy in Bangladesh. Bangladesh has been achieved a very remarkable success in terms of increasing literacy among female. Female literacy was 26% in 1990s. Today is around 72%. This is like remarkable increase in terms of literacy among female, given the country, and even reducing the number of child marriage. I think if I would like to compare some economic indicators for Bangladesh with the best developed country, Bangladesh has always best rate, given the size of the economy and given the challenge they face.
Thank you very much, Professor Mohammad Alhadab, because you talked from the economic point of view about the evolution of Bangladesh, which started with the leadership of our father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. And you have very rightly pointed out that as we see the development that we have today in the Bangladesh, the pathway for development, it was initiated by Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, and it has been carried forward by his daughter, our Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. And you also have rightly pointed out that the Bangladesh that we see today wouldn't have happened without the leadership of Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. What he sowed during his lifetime has become the fruit of success for Bangladesh today. And you have also pointed out rightly that even though 15 August has been a dark spot in the history of Bangladesh, but what the Bangladeshis have been able to do is to transform that grief of loss that took place on 15th August in 1975, when Bangabandhu was assassinated along with his family members. The Bangladeshis have taken that grief and transformed it into a power to come forward with a strong development focus, which is being led by the Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina. Thank you very much for your words.